When we think of the Aztecs, the image that often comes to mind is one of brutal conquest, a mighty empire brought to its knees by a handful of Spanish conquistadors. We picture the final days of Tenochtitlan, the smoke rising from its temples, the last emperor brought in chains before Hernán Cortés. And for many, that is where the Aztec story both begins and ends. But the real story, the full story, is so much more. The Aztecs were not just a warrior people defeated by European steel and strategy. They were poets, engineers, astronomers, and priests. They built floating cities, devised complex legal systems, and passed down myths that still resonate today. To understand who they truly were, we have to go back, far before Cortés set foot on American soil. The mythic beginnings. Aztlan and the search for destiny. The Aztecs, who called themselves the Mexica, traced their origin to a semi-mythical homeland called Aztlan, said to lie far to the north. They believed they were chosen by their patron god, Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and the sun, to find a promised land and build a great city. According to legend, they would know they had arrived when they saw an eagle perched on a cactus devouring a snake. It was a vision of divine fate. For generations, the Mexica wandered the Valley of Mexico, often treated as outsiders and mercenaries by more powerful city-states like the Toltecs and Tepanecs. They were seen as crude, uncivilized, and poor, but they were determined. The founding of Tenochtitlan, 1325 CE. In 1325, the Mexica saw the fateful sign on a small island in the middle of Lake Texcoco. There, they founded Tenochtitlan, which would grow into a city of dazzling splendor. The Mexica were resourceful. Since the island offered little farmland, they created chinampas, floating gardens that turned marsh into fertile land. They built canals, aqueducts, and causeways, turning the swampy terrain into a thriving metropolis. Tenochtitlan would eventually house over 200,000 people, rivaling or surpassing many European cities of the time in size, cleanliness, and urban planning. Rise to power. War, alliances, and empire. At first, the Mexica were subordinate to stronger powers in the region, such as the Tepanec Empire. But everything changed in 1428, when they formed the Triple Alliance with two other cities, Texcoco and Tlacopan. Together, they overthrew the Tepanecs, and the Aztec Empire was born. Through military